All right, let's move on to Class 3A. Number one, wire to wire, the number one ranked team by UI Russell, Southeast Polk. They're going to make their 16th straight dual state championship, dating back to 2008. They are looking to get back on top, and they've got none other than Waverly Shell Rock. These guys have wrestled a ton in the past years. There's no ways around this that these two don't really like each other. The corners are always heated. Because it has been coming down to them, right? Waverly Shell Rock's a little bit down this year. Southeast Polk is up. They're undefeated on the season. First matchup out of the gate. This one's going to be fun to watch. Waverly Shell Rock got through regional duels last night, right? And they were not projected to win. So them getting in, actually, you had them projected to get in, right?
Of course I did.
Sure, you had them projected to get in. What's maybe your favorite part of this matchup?
Well, I mean, there's going to be blood in this match, right? Waverly won the last 3 state dual finals over Southeast Polk, so I don't expect there to be a lot of love lost here. It's going to be regardless of the final score. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. Really not too many other surprises as far as seedings go. You had the top 4 as they play out here in the bracket. Actually had Centennial a little bit lower, but I had a lot of people telling me they were better this year. Just didn't quite have those matchups against some of those teams. Had Waukee, Northwest, and Hempstead right where they're at, and then basically Waverly the same thing because they beat Linmar. So, yeah, I mean this is about right where I had it as far as, like I said, went 8 for 8 last night in my regional.
No big deal. Humble brag.
No big deal. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Number one, that first matchup is my favorite one just because of the coaches. They have T-shirts that have subtle digs to each other. Southeast Polk has been known to already have printed shirts for the state finals. Sometimes they've been busted out. Sometimes they haven't. Jessamyn's been, I guess maybe it's not Jessamyn, but 99% positive it's Jessamyn that usually has a T-shirt made with a dig at somebody. So I love that. Other people don't. Both these teams are liked by their own, hated by each other, and across the state. So this is definitely the one to watch. We've got ranked matchups at 20, 26, 38, 50, 75, and 90. Both Southeast Polk only has 2 wrestlers not ranked.
And one of them was ranked recently.
Yeah,
so,
Abe Bashong was in Class 2A at Winterset, came in here the second semester at Southeast Polk, curious to see how he does in Class 3A, but he was ranked in Class 2A, so a transfer in there. Waverly Shell Rock, we got to see them at Battle of Waterloo. They got a young team. They don't have those guys that they know for sure are going to be in the state finals on Saturday, right? Yep. They're kind of just middle tier, great wrestlers, right? But you're talking about Ryder Blocks, the Riggins. They've had these guys for years now, and now they're gone. They're really in rebuild mode.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably favor Southeast Polk here for sure. They've just been dominant all year. But I mean, you look at the matchups and you're like, man, you got 3 versus 4 at one weight. 2 versus 4. 4 versus 7. I don't know. Southeast Polk isn't on their game. I mean, Waverly's probably going to score some points on them. So, yeah, they're number 1 for a reason for sure. But
yeah. Last year there was fireworks at the state duels, mainly that Riker-Graf matchup. Obviously, Southeast Polk, Waverly Shell Rock. We got the 3rd and 4th, Riggins versus Graf. I think that's probably the best one to watch. Trenary, Boss Diaz, and a heavyweight. You've got a top 5 ranked matchup. So Moving on, Centennial. You mentioned this. We have been, Anki Centennial has been like, man, you guys need to rank us, but they haven't had that tradition of duels of being in the top 5 area. So them kind of being under the radar all year is definitely probably on us, on you in general, but they are doing really well here postseason since Ed Winger. They're taking on Fort Dodge, a traditional team that has been on the traditional side, on the state dual side here in the state championships. Where do you see here in this matchup?
Yeah, give Centennial a break. They're still a pretty new school, right?
Yeah.
True. They've had 3 appearances. They've made the last 2 years. Like I said, obviously they don't have the tradition because it's a new school. Again, 4 versus 5, it's going to be close no matter what. I think you favor Fort Dodge here. I do anyways. Like I said, I think Centennial is absolutely a top 8 ranked team, but Fort Dodge has been top 4 all year. So,
led by Drew, they got Drew Ayala, Coy Davidson, Drayshawn Ross. Those are the big names right now for the Dodgers. Centennial, the Brules. So Dodge, I believe they're gonna run with this one just on bonus points alone. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, where it gets a little hairy there is 44-65, where Centennial has 4 ranked guys, and back in 1A. Fort Dodge does, but I think outside of that, Fort Dodge is pretty much going to control that. So, yeah, I think that's the difference.
Those upper weights just closing out the duel, depending on where they start, right?
Yep.
Ross, Hartman, Ross. Moving on down, Bettendorf. Bettendorf was at Battle Waterloo, so we got to see where they're at dual team wise. First time we've seen them at Battle Waterloo for a while,
it's
right?
Been a while, yeah.
Been a while since they've been back. Coach Knight fired up about the dual team. Bettendorf hasn't been really towards that top. We've been saying it for the last couple of years, though. Their youth program is on fire. Tons of great wrestling out there. They're going to take on Waukee Northwest. Brand new program, technically. If we're going the Centennial route, where we're saying they are fairly new. We got some fun ranked matchups against number 1 Colfax Christensen, Coaster. If we see these, Luna versus King, Freeman, Trevino. What else? What else are you seeing here? I like Bettendorf.
Yeah, I do too. Again, I think your kind of difference here is probably 44 up to 215, where Bettendorf has some more ranked guys and Waukee Northwest doesn't. But I mean, Bettendorf's been here for a while. This is their 6th straight appearance, making it 16th overall, but they haven't won it since 2014. So, I mean, obviously, they're really going to want to add to that. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to have, like you said, you got a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 4. I mean, you're not going to want to take your eye off any of these 3A duels the whole time. I mean, if nothing else, at least there's rankings points up for individual state. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely favor Bet here, but this, again, more great matches in this one.
I'll be curious to see if they do wrestle Freeman. Obviously going for 4 this year, has struggled with a little, with some injuries. Looks to be back to health. Was able to knock off Coy Davidson at the Ed Winger. Lost at the Council Bluffs Classic. So Carter Freeman looking to, really get back to his true form and trying to get that store state title this year. So that's,
you never know the extent of the injuries, but to me, your thought process is always you want to win that first one, especially if you're the underdog. There's a big difference between top 4, maybe a potential shot at the finals, and just being on the backside. So,
all right, down on the bottom side, Indianola, undefeated, really made a statement that they weren't just a team on paper that was going to be good this year, knocking off some big teams at the Battle of Waterloo. They're taking on Dubuque Hempstead, who the earlier of the year was our duel of the day against Linmar. They were able to knock them off, but they've had a weird schedule all year, and haven't really seen a lot of these bigger ranked teams. So interested to see if they're battle tested for a team like Indianola.
Yeah, so I started them out at 18, so they were the lowest in 3A. But like I said, they beat Linmar early in the year. That immediately bumped them up. Then they didn't face some of these teams here, but this is their 2nd year in a row making it, 4th overall. I mean, really, this duel is pretty interesting here when you look at it. It's not just, hey, Indianola has all these 1-ranked guys, Hempstead has these 12-ranked guys. There's some ones that are closer. You got at 132, you have Mitchell Murphy, number 12, against number 11, Ryan Young from Indianola. You got 11 versus 8 at 57 with Fish and Pointer there. And then, 215, 190. So, again, this is one of those where the guys are both ranked, and it's pretty close. So one team starts out hot, watch out,
Yeah. No, and that's a lot of guys are like those mid-ranked individual team, right? And then who traditionally is going to have that dual team ready to go that first round. So Matt Crossan, he's a freshman, highly decorated wrestler. They've got 4 freshmen at the starting of the lineup. Yeah. Nelson, Crossan, Wood, Hilton. They've got Cox, Blewett, all freshmen for the Indianola squad. So very, very young. Crossan's been battle tested as well. So him against Gottschalk, number 9th ranked wrestler. Pins is back. I heard he's been kind of dealing with some injuries. So if everyone's healthy, this one's going to be a sneaky good duel. Yeah. But you got to favor Indianola here just because they are undefeated on paper. They're the team to beat. Okay, going forward, I like Southeast Polk. The Centennial and Dodge match is going to come down to bonus at those upper weight classes. If those guys can get bonus, C4 Dodge moving on. Bottom side, who do you like moving on from here?
I think Bettendorf takes out Indianola in the semis. Okay. I think it's close. I think, really realistically, I don't know if you can say this in any other bracket, even on the bottom half, where there's maybe 4 teams that really have a shot at the finals, but I still think Bettendorf comes on top here.
Yeah, bonus points in those. If they can get bonus points in some of these ranked matchups, at 13, if they can hold off, it's going to be Crossan, Luna, potentially ranked matchup there. 26, they're going to be favored. They'd be Kosher versus Hilton at 32. They're going to be favored. At 38, they're going to be favored. At 44, they're going to be favored. Yeah. So they're favored on paper, again, up against Indianola in a lot of these matchups. So, you kind of have to look at that and can't. I don't know. It's hard to duels again is a momentum type of thing, right? That's why we love duels. So if you got Bettendorf moving on, Southeast Polk, same kind of deal, right? Where we've got a ton of ranked matchups. What do you like to see here from Bettendorf and Southeast Polk?
Oh, nothing crazy here. I think Southeast Polk comes out on top. They've just been head and toes above everybody this year. Like you said, they got 12 ranked guys, had 13, and the other guy that isn't ranked is pretty good too. So. They have other guys they can put in that are maybe worthy of being ranked on other teams. I just don't see anybody touching them.
They've got Southeast Polk number 1. It's just the lineup: 1, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 5. They've got only one ranked wrestler not in the top 8 outside the top 2 that aren't ranked. Those 2 that aren't ranked. So there's no holes in this lineup. No. They really don't even have to move around. No. Right? They don't need to bump around. They don't need to do anything flashy. So if they don't try to overthink it, I think this is Southeast Polk chance to get back on top of the state dual championships that they so desperately want. Right? That tradition of the Rams coming back on top. So
2020 was the last time.
Yeah, so and it seems like it's been a while, right? Yeah. There just has been that back and forth with them and Waverly Shell Rock. So I know that Coach Agnes and company definitely want to get that T-shirt out of the box. Whatever saying they got on it, look for it. It's gonna happen. All right. So that's really kind of the bow on Class 3A. Overall, just want to say, thanks for joining us, driving from Bosco to come here. I want to give a shout out to the High School Athletic Association for, teasing these brackets to us a little bit. We kind of had a good idea of what these brackets would look like. It's there's some people doing comments online. They're saying, we kind of know what they are, but really you don't, because we don't know what that 7th and 8th seed was going to look like based off, regionals and traditional, just kind of how the coaches are thinking, because they do reseed the brackets technically. Yeah. Your top 4 stayed all the same, right? Top 5 and 6 stayed all the same. The 7th and 8th really they kind of changed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that's all. This is going to go down Saturday, Stream Arena, all day long. They're going to wrestle all the brackets through. We'll be there for coverage. Keep it locked on I Wrestle. You're going to be in the building. We got boys got districts on Sunday. So
big day districts. Sunday. We'll see. Yeah, you got your top half of your bracket wrestles first, so you'll have 1 versus 8, 4 versus 5 through that first round. Second time through is the bottom half. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. What do you think? Should I come down?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely. So keep it locked to I Wrestle all week with the Girls State Championship on Thursday, Friday. We'll have tons of highlights from you, behind-the-scenes stuff. We've got a ton of I Wrestle people in the house. We went from having just a few to having a whole slew of I Wrestle people there. It's kind of fun how that always ends up happening, where people are like, I'm not sure if I want to go, and then we have them. So we'll be at the Girls State Championship, the state duels on Saturday. Then we'll be back on Sunday for the AAU districts. Top 4 go to Wells Fargo Arena for the youth wrestlers. Great Iowa USA State tournament in Cedar Rapids. Great venue. First time getting to experience that as a coach, as a dad. So really excited for the postseason. Keep it locked. It's I, Russell. Thanks for watching.